What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. It is the 28th day of April. We're coming to the end of this month here, and here we are at about $76.3 thousand with roughly 11 hours and 17 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, okay? At the end of yesterday's video for Bitcoin, I was talking about how I'm pretty confident this is the high, that we don't go higher. There were moments where we addressed that, yes, we still could go higher. 80 to 82K is a possibility, and maybe it's still even possible from here, but we're going to get into why I think that's not going to happen. Throughout that whole video yesterday, as we're getting to the end, it became very obvious that this, or at least it became increasingly obvious that this was the high, and we'll go over that as well, that we're not going to go above this, that we do have a double top. This double top idea really becomes validated once we get below about $74,000 here. And at the end of the video yesterday, I said if we go below 77K, that likely confirms it. That likely means that we're going to see a rapid move below 74K. Again, getting below this low, I think, will validate this as the high of this range. Now, what I'm not going to say, which a lot of bears are going to say, what a lot of bearish people are probably going to be yelling from the top of their lungs is, here we go, sub 60K right now. I mean, maybe we do that. Maybe we do that. But from what I can tell, in these very polarized times, the most likely outcome is that we just keep moving sideways. And we are very polarized. The side that's bullish is saying everybody's bearish. The side that's bearish is saying everybody's bullish. But the reality is, I think that there's a lot of people who don't know how to feel. I think there's a lot of people who are maybe even neutral, who are kind of in the middle there. And there's these sectors of loud voices at the top and at the bottom saying, haha, I told you, haha, I told you. And it's we're not in a bull market, guys. We are still in a bear market through and through. But let's get into the short-term stuff. We'll come back out to the daily. We'll see what we can pick up. It is the beginning of the week still. It's Tuesday right now. 1 hour time frame. Looking at this here. As we dropped, volume picked up. Volume is a telltale sign, you guys. We talked about volume yesterday as well. When we're moving up here, volume was picking up a little bit, sure, but it wasn't what it was back here, right? It wasn't what we saw when we moved. It wasn't this. And slowly but surely, it's been dying off. Sure, you picked up relatively speaking, but this was not enough volume. In fact, when you dump down, you had even more volume. When you dump down here, the volume continued to increase. Bearish, right? Bearish. You can see that it's bearish. It's clear. I hope it's clear at least. 1 hour RSI, you do have bullish divergence. You have higher lows. We've been through this before. We had higher low bullish divergence here, and that sent us to new relative highs. We could still move up higher. It is possible that this is not a double top and that we do move higher. It is possible. I don't think so. I think that we have found the top. I think that, if we look at this, these BTC liquidations over the past 30 days, let's just see if the shorts and longs have changed structure at all. Okay, a lot of longs have taken have de-risked, and some shorts have actually piled on. So yeah, we could see a little bit of volatility. What about the past 24 hours? What do we got? There's still a lot of longs. Still people making bets on the long side. Yeah, shorts are dominant over the past week. We really could come back up, you guys. It is possible to clear out all these shorts, but the longs were pushing down. We're right against this. I mean, we might send it right below or right above 74K just to clear out all these longs. And then from that point, once we're there, from that point, maybe we can try again, find resistance at prior support, get a lower high, and then complete the thought and keep moving down. That's kind of my thought. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. I was so ready to sneeze. It just went away. Whew. Whatever. Oh, it would have been a good one. It's okay. Don't tease me like that, sneezes. The stochastics are bearish. The RSI is bearish for what it's worth. And the MACD is bearish too. There are some signs that perhaps, again, that we turn around here. There's some bullish divergence, right? We do have lower lows in the price right here. While we got lower lows, we also have lower levels of volume. Volume's decreasing where it was increasing before. That doesn't mean we can't go a little bit lower, but a bounce from somewhere in this area is probably going to happen. Bullish divergence and all. 12 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. That bullish divergence is only confirmed if we get a green candle close. So if in the next 12 minutes this thing closes red, we could still be moving lower. But there's not a lot of volume. I don't think that we're going to move too much lower. Let's look at relative fib here, actually. I want to look at should we take this low? Let's take this low to this high. 1414, it's good enough. What about right here? It's probably just above the 14140. Yeah, 1272. I mean, either way, it kind of works. Right here at this low here to this high, right above the golden ratio. Yeah, I still think we're working our way down. It looks like you're showing some respects on this fib as well, actually. I don't think I should take that low. I think this is appropriate. But maybe on the 4 hour we'll see some uh, more respectable fibs. Let's just see. 4 hour time frame here. I mean, I could take this low, I guess. This does seem like it's all. I think this is the same low that I took already, though. Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm not seeing anything really here. I mean, we could take the low all the way back in the very end of March here to this high, and this kind of paints the path forward, right? A little bit of support here, maybe some resistance, support there, whatever. Like we could stair step our way down. It might be more eruptive than that at times. Who knows? Um, Ultimately, I would think that we at least make our way down to the golden ratio, which would be $70,000 to $69,200. But I do think we'll get below there. I do think that we will see lower prices than that actually as time goes on. You can see here Bitcoin is rounding off. You see that it's rounding off its top. You see that it's rounding off with its lows here. It's rounding off. Typically, this type of structure, rounding off. I don't know if there's a technical term for it. I've always called it rounding off because it looks like it's rounding off. Typically, what you'll see is a sharp decline. You'll see a sharp initial decline, right? It's like this slow thing that boom, sharp initial decline, and then you kind of work your way down as time goes on. So as crazy as it might be, even though we've moved down from $79,500 to $76,000 over the last day, the real move down I don't think has started yet. We're gonna get a move like this or larger, like a move like this, but to the downside, right? Here we go. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. More familiar. Let's just take these for example. Actually, hold on. If I took this, let's just say from this relative move start to stop, not the high, but just like the relative area that it started to where it stopped. We put both of these here. Let's say, I mean, you really haven't even seen it yet. I guess this could be part of it. I guess this really could be part of it. Let's just put it at the top. Because if we drop through the floor here, I would say this is part of it. But we have that 1 hour bullish divergence. It's very close to the same levels there. Put a line right there. That's $73,000. I could see it, man. I could definitely see it happening. We tie these lows up. Yeah, we're getting just below this trend line. Volume's picked up. Yeah, I think we have our high, guys. And you can see it on the 4 hour time frame. Volume is picking up as we're moving up higher, and then we try and volume dies off immensely, and then we try again and volume has died off even more so. It's not a good look, man. It's definitely not a good look. And a lot of people were going bullish at the top, like max bullish. Bull market's on. We're going to 100K. We'll see you at 90K. All these things, man. And it's just like, no, we're probably going to come down. We probably will. But again, watching this video right now, you're probably going to see the price move up by the time you watch this video. So, again, we already forecasted that on the 1 hour time frame. Don't get too excited there. If you want to move above these levels here, you want to move above these levels, you want to prove me wrong. I know some of you do. You need to first get above about $78,500. If you can do that, if you can get above these highs on a 4 hour closing basis, you stand a chance to get to 80K, 81.6K, maybe even above there. Okay, but that would be the top zone. I mean, if I'm wrong here and this isn't the top of this move, then it'll be right here. Whatever, whoop-de-doo. I'll be wrong by 2%, 3%, whatever that is. It's not a big deal. I think it's weakening though. I mean, if we were to see this rounded kind of topping structure come out, I mean, we would have a hell of a time getting past 81.6K. Anyways, 4 hour time frame here. Looking at the RSI, this is very incriminating, right? Rejecting the overbought zone. This is where we became bearish. This is where it became bearish because this is exactly what we were looking for. This is exactly what I was talking about down here, is that if we move up and we reject the overbought zone, that's likely it. And in that rejection, I was expecting that we might wick higher, but we didn't. We just straight double topped and we rejected that overbought zone. This is the beginning. This is the commencement, right? You go from being overbought consistently like this to now you're showing the early warning signs, guys. I've been doing this for 10 and a half years. This does rarely lead you the wrong way, and so far it's led you the right way. I mean, imagine you're waiting for that rejection you saw on the 4 hour time frame that you closed there. You had the foresight to think, oh my god, it's going to happen, we're going to close down. Maybe you didn't even go short right there. Let's say you went short halfway in the middle of this move here on that first 4 hour time frame. Do like 5x leverage, you're up 10%. You did like 2x leverage, you're up like 5%. Whatever, that's not bad. If you did more leverage, you're up more, but I don't think there's any need to take that kind of risk. You could take profit here, and you're up a nice 5 to 10%, easy peasy, and then it comes back up. You go short again, shorting at prior support for resistance, prior resistance for resistance, and then boom, then you're just doubling down on that, and you can just use very low leverage. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Probably stay away from leverage trading for most people, but I think it's good to get in the habit of using low leverage first off. 5x is even high, actually, in my opinion. 5x is high. And taking small profits. Anything from 2 to 5% is awesome. Consistently take those. If you're getting to 10% or more profits, you're getting greedy. Or maybe you went short at the right time and the move just happened to dump down before you could get to the desk and close your position. Unless you had sell orders set up, but I digress. There's just some little thoughts there. Not advice, not financial advice, just some thoughts there. 4 hour stochastics oversold. This is the most oversold and the most bearish that you've looked really throughout this whole run, I think. You can see why, right? You're more consistently oversold than what we've seen since this level here, where you were literally at your low point. Every other time you were here for a little bit and then moved up. Here you were here for a little bit longer, but the deal is here you were getting overbought consistently. Whereas here, again, you rejected the overbought zone. Look, it's in the RSI and it's in the stochastics. You're showing signs of weakness you haven't shown throughout this whole move up. You're showing it here. It's the details, man. They call it technical analysis for a reason. It's the technicalities. The MACD here, going from bouncing off the zero, beautiful move, man. Super bullish MACD to now you're crossing through. Now you're crossing through. Yeah, right. Getting higher lows technically on the MACD histogram. Now you're getting lower lows, right? And crossing through the zero. The move's coming, man. You might see what we might see here is kind of like what we saw here before we actually got the real cross through the zero. Right? We rejected the zero once, rejected it twice, but it was a false rejection. It was like a rejection that didn't reject it, and then we broke through. We might see that here. You reject a little bit, and then you really break through. In which case, again, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, we move up just a little bit. But I'm bearish, man. I am definitely bearish on Bitcoin. And I said it at the top. I said it at the top, you guys. I said it here as well. It is the time to get out of altcoins. It is the time to de-risk with altcoins. I'm not selling certain altcoins. There's certain altcoins that I'm holding probably for a long time. We'll see. But Onyx Coin, Bitcoin Cash, I'm not selling those. But anything else, I'm out. I'm out. I am out right now. The best thing to do, I think, is to be cash dominant, except for your long-term minded positions that you aren't taking profits on for 5 years, 10 years, till you retire, whatever that means, all that kind of stuff. But being cash dominant right now, I think, is the important thing. It really is. Cash dominant. We're advertising for being crypto dominant down here. We're advertising for being cash dominant down here. Made some plays on some altcoins. Some of them worked out. Some of them didn't. If they didn't work out and they haven't pumped yet, even though Bitcoin made its move, it's time to get the heck out, man. That's all I'm saying. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. RSI, turning a tide a little bit. It actually kind of looks bullish if I'm being fair on the daily time frame, but you can see here some waning, right? You're going from these higher lows kind of consistently, right, to now you've got these three kind of lows all in the same area, and you're getting a weaker reaction, rejecting this overbought area. I don't like it, man. I think you're going to come down. Stochastics look bearish. You are at the 50 with the blue line. Kind of interesting. Kind of separated too. You might see some slowed behavior. It is Tuesday. I would think by the end of this week that we would be lower. But if we happen to just meander a little bit, whatever, maybe it is next week that we dump down more. I would think by the end of this week we dump down, and then that way we can open up May, moving up a little bit of retracement, finding resistance at prior resistance points and support points, and then reject down. I do think May is going to open up bloody, but I think we might close it moving up, if that makes sense. The MACD has started to cross red. This is something else we talked about yesterday and the day before, is that it's been green for quite a while. It's completely possible that we cross red here. It's completely possible that we do. We take this for what it's worth. We get the low down here. We get the high up here. My expectation is that we either go at least to the 382 before we see some type of bounce. But likely we're going to go all the way to the golden ratio. Even if we bounce here, I don't think that it's going to take us to a higher high. I mean, really, we're going to work our way down to the golden ratio, if not the 786, 886. I want to look at this real quick. Hold on. From a low point here to a high point here, you went to your golden ratio and you bounced. From a low point there to a high point there, you went to your 382 and bounced. Okay, cool. Low point here to high point here, golden ratio and bounced. Okay. Low point to high point here, golden ratio and bounced every single time. Golden ratio, right? We go here, low point there to high point there. You went to your 786 area. You were pretty close. You wicked through your golden ratio. Basically closing support at the golden ratio, but you wicked through a little bit. Okay. Low to high here, golden ratio zone, and found support. Low to high here, 786, and you found support, and then you moved up. 786 golden ratio. Both times. I mean, I think it's very appropriate at this point in time. If we're not assuming that we're breaking out of this to the depths, I don't think that we'd go to the depths anyways. Like something just below 60K sure could happen, but I don't think it. I think it's too early to make that call right now. I think it's completely appropriate to call for something that is around $70,000 to $67.8 thousand. So, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I still do believe that we could go below these lows, or maybe not this low. Maybe not this low, but go below this low here. We could go below 65K. It is possible. But I would like to kind of change my prediction where I have been saying we go below 69K. I think we could. I think we really could go below 69K. And there's a lot of longs to take out that are below 69K, but some of them have deleveraged already. Right there, 69K kind of clears out all these longs. So we have about $10 billion, $11 billion worth of longs. I would say that something below 70K. At least something below 70K, 69, 70K, whatever. It's like the same thing, but yeah, just being technical here. That's my perspective. That's what I think is going to happen. So, and then again, just pay attention to the volume, guys. Right. One last little thing before we leave here. This will help you. This really will help you. It helps me at least. We've been lethal within this range, literally. And I largely attribute that to the volume, but also just understanding how Bitcoin works. Whenever you see these kind of fantastic moves, it does like to move sideways. We've been calling for it to move sideways since February. And yes, we're at a higher point here, but we also forecasted that would happen. Forecasted that we would not interact with these lows. There's a little time here where we're like, it could happen. Maybe you get a little bit higher, but just a little bit, not too much, right? It'd be like a fake out if anything. But the main point here that I'm trying to get to is, when you broke out here, when you broke out of this little range to the downside, there was no volume. So what'd you do? You moved up. Cool. Whenever you made the breakout here, quote unquote breakout, whenever you broke out above these highs here, boom, there was still just a little bit of volume. In fact, it looks like it's above average, and it kind of is. It actually is. But it's the same volume that you had back here. It's the exact same levels. You see how it's literally, you actually had a bigger spike here on this volume that wasn't significant enough to cause a breakout here. You had that same spike here. Both times were false breakouts. But then what happened? Then what happened here? We broke out, there was no volume. As we started to go lower, as we actually broke out of the horizontal level, not the diagonal level, but the horizontal level here, when we broke out of there, boom, we moved down. Volume picked up, guys. Volume picked up. So watch for that. We're watching for that here. My thoughts are we might not see volume pick up necessarily from here, but we're at the top of this range. We can move down without tremendous volume. It's whenever we really like break through these levels here, when we break through 64K that we got to be careful, because if volume picks up there, then yeah, we're going to see lower lows. Likely we're going to see lower lows. At this point, I'm thinking from 76.3K, I mean really from the top of 79.5K, we're thinking we move down to 70K to maybe 68K, somewhere in that kind of area. 67, what was it, 67K? Let me see, hold on. Oh, I'm on the wrong fib. My bad. Yeah, like 68K, 68 to $70,000. We're at 76 now. So this move, if I am correct, if it does happen to the downside, well, looking at this took from February 8th to February 25th, so like 16 days, like a week, 2 weeks, and 2.5 weeks. This took 4 days. This took from March 17th to March 29th. It's about 12 days. So like 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks, something like that. That would go very well with what I was thinking over the past few days here over this week, which is that we're going to move down for the first half of May, but then we might see some recovery going into the second half. I think May is going to open up bloody, but I think by the end of the month we're going to be like, what, did sell in May go away really work? I don't know. Sell in April go away, guys. That's what worked out best. But sell in May go away. It's still probably going to work at the end of the day, nonetheless. A lot of people right now have it preordained in their minds that if you just sell in May and you wait to buy in November, it's just going to go down that whole time, and you'll be saved. You'll be able to, exactly what to do, just like everybody else. And maybe that works. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we sold, we fed into that belief, and then pump back up and make people question things. And then at these lows, a lot of people sold, and then we're back in this kind of mode where, oh, we're going to break out, we're going to move up higher. And then as June and July come along, maybe we start to really show our hand and we start to break out. I don't know how it's going to look. But what I'm trying to get to here is I don't expect that of this range that we're going to be breaking out in May. I don't expect that to happen. I don't expect at this point in time that this is what we're going to see in the month of May. But you never know. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'm kind of rambling at the end here. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.